Let's go to Alexism number 71. The biggest reason for failure in business is not ignoring your daily distractions. Wow, that's one sentence, but look at all the wisdom in that. Listen to the wisdom in that. The biggest reason for failure in business is not ignoring your daily distractions, okay? Not ignoring, okay? If you don't ignore your daily distractions, right, then you will fail, okay? Because if you do look at your daily distractions, and if they get in the way, right, bottom line is it's going to take over your life. You're not going to do things that are a priority. You're going to do things that are only urgent and are usually other people's priorities. So what you have to do, okay, the biggest failure is if you don't ignore it, okay? You have to ignore to be successful. Ignore the daily distractions. So let me read it again. The biggest reason for failure in business is not ignoring your daily distractions. You have to ignore daily distractions in order to be successful. It's a double negative. I did it deliberately so it would capture your attention. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this is number 40, Alexism number 40. Premise must precede purpose in business. The former asks, what do I believe? The latter asks, why do I believe it? All right. Well, that's a life lesson right there. Now think about it. Now, these may take a long time to think about, but they take very little time to read. So a premise is, what do I believe? Okay. If you're ever having a challenge in your life, it's because you don't have enough premises in your life. You don't believe in enough things. Okay. So what you believe should always precede why you believe it. Now, most people don't know what they believe. And so they focus on the why because they've heard why first, always start with why, which is true, but not when it comes to your beliefs. So what is it that you believe? Here's what I believe, which is, by the way, Alexism number 140 is, remember, you are never as good as you think you are. You're better. That's what I believe. You're not as good as you think you are. You're better. It's actually on my fan page in Facebook. Why? All there on the banner. That's an Alexism. You're not as good as you think you are. And there's always a pregnant pause. You're better. Why do I believe that? So that's my belief. That's my premise. Why do I believe it? Because most people play small. Okay. Don't worry about hitting goals and hitting your objectives that are, small. Don't worry about hitting those. Worry about not hitting goals that are too big. Bottom line is, I want you to build bigger goals. So even if you don't hit them, at least you shot for them and you would shoot beyond the little goal that you may have hit. Said another way, okay, if you hit a small goal, great. But if you hit a bigger goal, that's even better. An audacious big goal. So I'm not worried about you not hitting a huge goal. I'm worried about you not going for it. And so you're not as good as you think you are. You're better means go for the bigger goal. Shoot for the sun so you hit the moon. You shoot for the moon, you hit the roof. All right. Next one. Having hope in business is not about knowing how to get from point A to point B. It's simply knowing there is a point B. That's what hope is. Confidence is knowing how to get from point A to point B. Hope is simply knowing there is a point B. What does that mean? That means, could you be an influencer? If your answer is yes, that's your point B. How do you get there? Well, that's what requires a how-to course. That's what requires a system or a process by pushing buttons and getting there, right? But you don't need the training to have hope. Hope has to come from you. Confidence comes from your mentors, coaches, and teachers, gurus, whatever you call them. Are you with me? All right, let's go for another one. I'll give you access to this PDF book in just a moment. Number 54, when vetting, that means when evaluating new team members, okay, hire them for attitude, train them for skill. So you never hire someone for their skill set, Hire them for their attitude, because you can't train attitude, and then train them for skill. Now, the former CEO of Southwest Airlines, right, a very profitable airline here in the United States, taught me that during an interview with him many years ago. Okay, almost 10 years ago now. So when vetting new team members, hire them for attitude, train them for their skills. That's a big one. That's an Alexism. That's a useful life lesson, okay? And you don't have to be a recovering serial entrepreneur like me in order to take advantage of that. Many people are saying to their new hires or to their vendors, do you have the skill? Well, here's the problem. Even if they have the skill, if they have a bad attitude, they will poison the rest of your team members. Alexism number 17. I hope you like them so far. What do you think? What's your biggest aha so far? What's the biggest takeaway? Type that in. Let me know. Number 17. What makes a good entrepreneur great is to think big and act small. Now, most entrepreneurs think big, but then they try to act big and they never get to that big goal. It's better to think big and act small, meaning you take little bites of the elephant until you reach your big goal. Okay. Again, don't worry about not reaching a goal that's too big. I want you to worry about reaching a goal that's too small. You understand? That's what I said earlier. Don't worry about reaching a goal. If you can't reach a goal that's too big, that's fine. But I want you to worry about reaching a goal that's too small. Think big, act small. Most people don't act small. They either procrastinate because they want to act big, or they're perfectionists and they don't even get started. All right, let's go to the next one. This is number 100, Alexism number 100. Focus on building momentum, not just growth. Now, in your business, I want you to focus on building momentum, not growth. It is better to aim for first downs, not just touchdowns. Now, in football, you score when you go for a touchdown, but it's hard to get touchdowns in the game and win the game against the other team. This is American football, unless you get a bunch of first downs. Because if you don't get the first downs, then you got to give the ball up to the opposing team. So I'm telling you, build momentum. Momentum is by getting first downs, goes the analogy. And growth is about getting touchdowns, right? So it's better to aim for first downs, not touchdowns. What that means is, think big, act small. 10 yards at a time to go the 100 yards. Are you with me? Okay. I'm hoping this is making sense. Let's keep going. This is Alexism number 48. It is better to create a company out of a great, unique selling proposition, or USP, than to create a great USP out of a company. What does that mean? That means it's better to have a company like Domino's Pizza and create that company from the USP, fresh, hot pizza delivered to your door, or it's free. Okay. The USP built the company. What's another one? We're Federal Express, when it absolutely positively has to be delivered by the next business day. That's the USP that built the company. But many people build a company first and then try to create a USP out of it. That's not as powerful. It is better to create a company out of a great USP than to create a great USP out of a company. Does that make sense? USP, then company, versus company, then USP. All right. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, well, you're going to get to read it again and again, because I'm going to give you a copy of this book online. The secret, this is number 18, Alexism number 18. The secret to wildly successful entrepreneurship is a blind willingness to look bad in public often. When people ask me, Alex, what's your secret to success? I say, I'm glad you asked. I am more willing to look bad in public than you are, especially in the beginning of something. The secret to wildly successful entrepreneurship is the blind willingness to look bad in public more often. When people say, what's the secret to your success? I'm willing to look bad in public in the beginning of any project. And I hope you are too. Steve Jobs he got fired. He looked so bad. And look what happened to him. And look what he built. He changed your lifestyle. All right. Number 124, Alexism number 124. There's 2 more left for this session. Your professional life is always a projection of your personal life. How you do anything is how you do everything. What's a projection? Well, that's a psychological term. It's also a spiritual term. But you're projecting your feelings, your beliefs, your premises on something else. If you don't like someone, in fact, if someone annoys you, and there's an annoying person in your life, chances are that person is not annoying to someone else. In fact, someone else may actually adore that person. Well, it's the same person. Why is that person annoying to you and not annoying to someone else? It's because you're projecting your annoyance or your annoying mindset on that person, and you're seeing that person as annoying because they did something to annoy you from your experience. But from someone else's experience, they may look at it differently. This pen looks like a pen to me, but to a dog, this pen, that's my projection. It's a pen, right? But the dog may look at this as a chew toy. A 13th century Eskimo could look at it as an ice pick, right? They go, oh, look, it's a little bit, it's a better ice pick with that thing out. They don't look at it as a pen. So I'm projecting that this is a pen. Now, I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying, but a projection is what's coming from your own experience. All right. So what I'm saying is your professional life is always a projection of your personal life. You can't separate the two. How you do anything is how you do everything. So what does that mean? Do you know speakers who are a certain way on stage, but privately they're different? Do you know content providers who are a certain way when they're teaching their content, but are different in other areas? Do you know authors who are a certain way when they're doing a book tour or book signing, but in front of their family, they're someone completely different? Do you know therapists who are a certain way in front of you, but in front of other people, they're different? Okay. Does that make them hypocrites? No. But how you do anything is how you do everything. I like a person who's consistent in their personal and professional life. All right. And then I'm just going to pick one more. This is number 77. It's one of my favorite ones. There are two types of career regret in life. What's a regret? Something that you feel bad about. Okay. The first type of regret are the risks you took that didn't work. And the second type of career regret are the risks you didn't take that could have worked. Let me repeat. There are two types of career regret: risks you took that didn't work, and risks that you didn't take that could have worked. Now, corollary to that, there are two types of regret at the end of your life. When you look back, what are the two types of regret? Things that you did and things that you didn't do, right? Things that you did that you regret. Oh, how can I have done that to that person or to myself? And then things that you didn't do. Oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish that I've told that person what I wanted to tell that person, right? So regret is a funny thing. With career regret, it's about taking risks. Risks you took and risks that you didn't take. Well, those are 10 Alexisms. There are 130 more of them, and you can get them at marketingonline.com/Alexism.